Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews NXT review. Before we get started guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe and press the notification so you can keep up to date with all our videos here on Smack Talk. With that in mind, let's kick it off. Hit the music. So we kicked off the show with William Regal being interviewed by NXT interviewer Kathy Kelly, asking what was going on with William Regal's office, that there was a camera crew there was a lawyer there, and pretty much William Regal stated, look, we are interviewing everyone as possible over the Aleister Black attack a few weeks ago. So this was what was going on throughout the whole show with backstage interviews and stuff like that. But I'll talk about that later on in the show. But it was good that something from the start was going through all the night. And it's a good storytelling kind of thing to see what everyone saw, what people, start getting witnesses. So for me, this was quite cool. I can't really give it a score because this who attacked Aleister Black is probably the big story which is going on for NXT right now. So for me, it's a great start to the show. We got our first opening promo though, was by none other than Johnny Gargano. Bit of a surprise really. They were talking about Dakota Kai versus Aliyah for being the first match. Before that even started though, Johnny Gargano's Rebel Heart theme tune hit the stage and he came walking out, limping out really, with a crutch. Obviously Full Sail crowd went absolutely mental and they started chanting Johnny Wrestling, Johnny, which is great. Johnny Gargano says, look, I thank you for the fans, thank you for chanting that, but I broke a promise. I couldn't fix what I broke, and I've started to realise I'm turning into Tommaso Ciampa. I'm turning into this man who I hate. It's a really good opening promo really for me. Great Johnny Gargano promo. He's really good on the mic, isn't he? He really is. He's very entertaining. William Regal comes out to interview Johnny Gargano and just goes, Johnny, I need to know, did you attack Aleister Black last week? And Johnny's like, look, you've known me for a long time. Look in my eyes. Do you think I did it? William Regal went, that's not an answer. And before they could really get into it, they were interrupted by the Velveteen Dream, who said Johnny Gargano is no longer Johnny Wrestling, he's Johnny Failure, which was a great thing. And some of the NXT crowd who have turned on Johnny Gargano have started chanting Johnny Failure, which was entertaining as hell. Velveteen Dream challenging Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's like, yeah, I'll take you on right now. This clutch is only here to support me. I can take you right now. William Regal just goes, no, you two will fight out next week. But you, Dream, you're coming with me. And he interviewed the Dream, Velveteen Dream. For me, fantastic opening segment. Velveteen Dream, hot as hell right now. On mic, brilliant. Johnny Gargano, brilliant. Just a really good, fantastic opening to NXT. I just got to give this an 8 out of 10. Then this moves us on to the first match of the night, which was Aliyah versus Dakota Kai. This was quite an interesting match. I think both women are in different positions, but very much similar in-ring ability. I think Dakota Kai is probably a little bit more experienced, and I think she's got a lot more fanfare. But Aliyah was getting a lot of support, which surprised me. That you could tell there's a part of the Full Sail crowd now who are just there for the heels. Aliyah has turned heel. Surprise! She hasn't really done anything too much to become a heel, in my opinion, but apparently she is. And Dakota Kai is just a baby face, and everyone loves her. I can't blame her. She's entertaining to watch as well. Very simple match, very basic, nothing really to write home about. But it was that heel in charge for quite a majority of the match. Babyface starting to get momentum for herself, and she got the victory. Very, very basic kind of storytelling type of match, but it gives Dakota Kai a good amount of momentum, and I think this gives Aliyah a lot of TV time, which she does need. She needs in-ring time as well, which I think helps both women. So for me, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. After that, we did get a promo package. We got 2 promo packages actually. We got one saying Hawkins and Birch are returning next week on NXT. They haven't been seen for some time now. They are really hot NXT tag team who pushed the Undisputed Era, surprised a lot of people how well they performed. So that was awesome to see. And we also got a promo by current NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa, who pretty much stated a year and a bit ago I was injured and all this. So a typical Tommaso Ciampa, like, I don't need anyone, I am the best sports entertainer in the world. Tommaso Ciampa's great when he gets his backstage. It's even if he's not on the show, you know, in the studio, you know, in the ring, him getting these type of promos just, you know, gets the crowds bubbling. So I can't really give these little things scores, but they were really entertaining, and it's like can't wait to see kind of stuff. Next up, we were supposed to get EC3 versus Raul Mendoza. Sorry, finally got it, Mendoza, but that didn't happen. Before the match even started, Lars Sullivan attacked EC3 backstage, and this was all because after NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, EC3 kind of hinted it was Lars Sullivan who attacked Aleister Black. That's his theory on this. Lars attacked him for saying his name pretty much, and then he went out to get Raul Mendoza and destroyed him as well. Referee was kind of useless in this one. It's quite it's good to see Lars back in the ring. He hasn't been around since he had his match against Aleister Black, and he is the #1 suspect for a lot of fans. So for me, again, you can't really give us a score, but it's really good to see Lars back, and you know it's building up for EC3 versus Lars Sullivan. Hopefully EC3 will win that. He needs the victory sooner rather than later. So I'm going to give... I can't really give it a score. It's all really good, but there's just not enough substance to give scores for. After that, we did get an interesting interview. Now, we saw a few other people getting interviewed by William Regal, but this one was the most interesting in my opinion, and that was Nikki Cross getting interviewed by William Regal. As we know on the footage, Nikki did see when she was on the roof, and she had the best viewpoint to see who attacked Aleister Black. Now, William Regal wanted to interview her as soon as possible, but as we all know, Nikki Cross is crazy as hell. Cute crazy, in my opinion. I've got a thing for the absolute insane. But yes, she was playing on the phone. She was messing about on his desk. She was saying, "Ooh, shiny," and all this lot. Entertaining as hell. Bianca Belair couldn't be bothered waiting anymore, and she came into William Regal's office and said, "Look, I don't know. I wasn't even here when Aleister Black got attacked, but I know one thing. I want a title shot." And Nikki Cross was like, "Oh, Bianca, I want to play. And this was a really good little backstage segment. William Regal looks really scared of Nikki Cross, and Bianca Belair just looks irritated. It's like she knows she can't really say anything to Nikki Cross, because I think she's slightly intimidated if she ever really insults Nikki Cross. So it was a good little segment. I again can't give it a score because it's just a small segment, but it's entertaining as hell. Next up, we got Keith Lee versus new NXT signing Luke Menzies from Leeds, from my part of the world. Yeah, Yorkshire. Yeah, he got squashed. It was a typical new signing, quite a rookie wrestler taking on a veteran indie wrestler who's signed for NXT who needs the victory. But yeah, Keith Lee just really showing what he can do in bits and bats. I really want to see Keith Lee have a full-on match, in my opinion, against someone like Adam Cole, Ricochet, you know, Johnny Gargano, because I think he could really do well against those type of matches. But it's, you know, Keith Lee is entertaining, and I do like to bask in his glory, so that was quite cool. So with that in mind, it was a full match. I have to give it a score. I'm going to give it a 7 because Keith Lee was entertaining, the crowd really enjoyed it, and I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it as well. This moves us on to our main event of the night, and it was a tag team match with Ricochet teaming up with Pete Dunne, the United Kingdom champion, and the North American champion, taking on the Undisputed Era. And we all thought it was going to be Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, but no, Adam Cole decided he wanted a piece of Ricochet. And it was a fantastic match. If you show this to a fan who's not seen NXT, this is a great way to bring them in and show them how good this brand is. Because this is the type of match where you can go, it's not super fantastic, but it's got enough in there to go, this is what NXT is all about. And it was brilliant. Roderick Strong and Adam Cole kept Ricochet in the ring for the majority of this match. They really worked Ricochet, which was great. This was really good storytelling right here, guys. And then finally Ricochet managed to put Pete Dunne in, where Pete Dunne start with being the most, healthier, with the most energy still left, took out Roderick Strong and Adam Cole quite easily. They obviously had to use high fly moves, risky moves, and that's what cost them in the end. Kyle O'Reilly saved his partners from the Roderick Strong and Adam Cole from getting taken out by Ricochet by pulling them away, leaving Ricochet to hit Pete Dunne by mistake. Then Kyle O'Reilly chucks Pete Dunne into the ring. Adam Cole finishes him off. Then 1, 2, 3, they get the pin. That wasn't it though. The Undisputed Era took out Pete Dunne and Ricochet after the match, leaving them in absolute disarray. But before they could finish off Pete Dunne completely, the Raw Raiders turned up for the NXT champions. They've been looking for them for weeks now, and I think they are the team to take the titles off the Undisputed Era at some point. But this was a really good match. This was fantastic type of match and storytelling. And afterwards, on a WWE exclusive, you saw Pete Dunne and Ricochet arguing, saying Pete obviously not trusting anyone, saying you did that on purpose, you cost us the match. Ricochet says, no mate, it was a mistake. They cheated to win. It's their fault. And Pete Dunne was not having any of it. Obviously, both men are after each other's titles, and we could soon see a title for title match, which would be quite interesting to see how that goes. But in my opinion, really strong episode. I can't wait to see what's next for everyone. But this was really cool. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. And there you go, guys. That was NXT for this week. It was like I said, there was a lot of bits which you couldn't really give marks for. You couldn't give really scores for. But the bits which you could do did what it needed to do. They're really strong storytelling matches, really strong. And the advertising for wrestlers who haven't been there or backstage segments have been fantastic as well this week for NXT. I'm just not surprised. NXT is always really good. It's really well put together. You can tell Triple H knows what he's doing. He's putting it all together perfectly, and that's really good storytelling yet again. So I'm going to have to give this week's episode an 8 out of 10. So what did you guys think of NXT this week? Leave it in the comments below. If you want to follow the channel on Twitter, you can. It's at SmackTalk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on SmackTalk Wrestling Reviews.